I wanted to ask you if you ever heard of a dude that had 31 bonds, like actually was fighting, I guess, 31 different cases and was able to bail out, get arrested, bail out,
That's
get arrested.
crazy, man. Hey, that's crazy. That's nuts, man. Nah, I ain't never heard of that. I have seen a few homies that been out on 3 bonds.
Yeah.
Never more than that. Yeah, never more than 3. Yeah.
Well, there's a
That's
story.
crazy they even let him do that, though.
I'm thinking that most of these offenses that he had were minor because, it finally took something serious before they decided to keep him without bail. But 31 bonds for this young man named Joshua Ortiz Lopez from Added, Texas. I got a clip here. Let me play this clip because I ain't never heard nothing like this before. But I don't think he's gonna be getting a bail anytime soon. Now that he got
Hell
caught on,
no.
he got caught on some more serious stuff. Let me play this for y'all. This is a crazy story, and they're alleging that this guy's a gang member too.
On tonight's breaking bond, an admitted gang member granted a whopping 31 felony bonds is back in court facing now a new judge.
Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us now live with the latest in his ongoing series. Randy.
Yeah, Rashi, the judge who continuously revoked and reinstated all Joshua Ortiz Lopez's bonds lost in the primary. Today, Ortiz Lopez learned the new judge who replaced her isn't playing. It's hard to believe anyone, including Joshua Ortiz Lopez, is surprised to see him back in the 263rd Criminal District Court facing new criminal charges.
Possession of a controlled substance and theft of a motor vehicle valued at over $30,000.
We first told you about Ortiz Lopez last January for being a bond record holder.
I have really never seen anyone out on 31 felony bonds before in my career. I dare anybody to find a defendant who's had more than 31 bonds.
Since 2019, Ortiz Lopez has had his bonds revoked and reinstated more than 24 times. His total bond amounts more than $1 million. His charges include engaging in organized criminal activity, arson, retaliation, and possession of body armor by a convicted felon.
On 3 cases, 3 felonies, he got 5 bonds on the same felony. Now, I don't know. I'm looking at this going, maybe after the 3rd one, you might want to say, this just isn't working out, dude. Every time we keep giving you bond, you keep getting it charged with a new crime and getting revoked again.
Court documents state Ortiz Lopez and another admitted gang member stole a car on March 6th and took police on a high-speed chase.
This is an extreme danger to our community here in Harris County. Auto theft is a pandemic, not just for our car dealerships, but also just for the.
All right, I'm gonna say we got the point on there. And do you know what?
No doubt.
You know what the first thing I think of when I'm watch this story, when I read the story, is that this guy had to be an informant. This guy had to be working as a confidential informant at the highest levels for someone to just keep getting bail. Because I actually know some real informants that get caught with a gun, they're out on bail. They get caught, with a sack, they're out on bail. And it turns out they were, informants. So
Working, yeah.
nothing in that story.
He was going to the same judge, and she probably know exactly what he was doing. He probably was doing some damn good work as well. You got a hell of a point there, bro. To be honest with you, you got a hell of a point. I didn't think of that, but I was thinking like that's unbelievable. They just kept letting him out, but you might have just hit the nail on the head on that one.
Yeah, because the informants that I know that keep getting bond, they usually have maybe they're fighting like 5 gun cases, not 31. So yeah, this dude probably.
Yeah.
And the reason why he probably has 31 cases is because he knew he can get away with it. He was just so active with it.
Right.
So what do you think about that?
No, you hit it. Like I said, I didn't at first, but because it didn't make no sense, I'm like, man, something ain't right. Maybe, I even thought maybe the judge was just a relative or something. You know what I mean? But now you making it make sense. 31 bonds, dog. That's a long. I mean, come on, man, 31. Yeah, that's wild right there. They say he's the record holder.
Yeah, that story was out of Fox. That was out of Fox 26 out in Texas. And if you guys are from Texas, tapping in with Streets and Scholars, and you know anything about this guy, Joshua Ortiz Lopez, please tap in with me because I'd like to know more. because this is highly unusual that this guy can get out every single time he commits a felony. I'm sure some of these were minor felonies, but nonetheless, he was getting out on bail. And plus, how could he afford paying all of that without some assistance?
right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? He's not no major drug trafficker. He's just a little street corner thug.
No doubt. But they say that judge lost in the primary, so when the new judge came in, she wasn't having it. So now he locked up. He got a $5 million bond. That it's gonna hold him for a minute right now.
Yeah, I think his career is going to come to a halt at that point because he probably abused the right that he had, or he abused the convenience that he had of catching. You can catch a couple cases, but you just can't keep going and going and going like this dude did.
Right, no doubt.
And yeah, I know quite a few people here in LA that have caught maybe 3, 4, 5 cases. And those 5 cases will raise an eyebrow with the local district attorney's office and the police. But 31 cases is out of control. That means that this guy was doing some very handy work. Had to be doing some handy work.
Shit, he was giving us some goods, dog. I mean, some goods. He was dropping gems on their ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for them to let him do that, is almost safe to say, man, that he was getting it in with him.
Yeah, definitely. Would love to know more about this guy. I am sure there's somebody sitting in the jail cell right now that knows this guy, that maybe he informed on him. If what I'm saying is true. Now, let me just preface that with I'm just speculating here. I have no inside information. That story out of Texas doesn't allude to that. That's just the way my mind is thinking, that this guy was probably an informant. I don't want to get find out that this guy wasn't and he want to sue me. But yeah, that's my guess right now. Okay.
No doubt. I think it's a damn good guess, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 31 damn bonds. You got to be crazy.